What is up, guys? Your boy C-Nice here, back again with another podcast episode. Today I have someone on who I may not have met as early as some of the other participants. I'll call them participants, but they're friends and family basically now. But it's someone who I have such a strong relationship now that I'm so happy about. I got my boy here. I got my boy Nikolay Ryan here.
Hello, how's it going, everybody?
And yeah, we're ready to chop it up on this episode. I think it will be a great one. You excited? You ready?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready. I feel like we got a bunch of good topics on hand. We kind of, talked a little bit beforehand, warm up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling some really good energy, and I'm excited to, see what happens.
Yeah, as Nikolay hates when I say this at the bar, but I think we got some good vibes
Oh,
happening
man.
here. So.
It's so bad because that statement just gets stuck in my head all the time now. It's like I'll just be like, I really love your energy. That's the thing that always gets me. Like,
man.
that's what sticks with me whenever we go out. So now I'm like,
I was dropping I love your energy like one random time I said it so many times in one night to the point where Nikolay was like, all right, stop. You're just
I was getting real annoyed. But
so now I just like everyone's energy.
It's just everyone's got good energy, and I think other people appreciate it too. That's the thing. They're like, you know what? You're right.
It's a different compliment that not a lot of people hear, and I think you should say it more because people's like vibe and their energy is like something that, you know what I mean? It's hard to see, but once you're at the bar, man, you catch it.
I mean, even still, like even out like with sober and like someone, I don't know. I've caught myself at work sometimes being like to these like people that are just buying something like, you have a really good energy going on. I'm like, shoot, I'm sounding like c-niice right now. I gotta stop.
Some people are just naturally more polite than others, and you like to see it sometimes, especially in a work scenario where you're like, man, sometimes people are horrible.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you get that good energy, you're like, man, you are really nice.
Yeah, but let's just jump right into it. You want to get started?
Yeah. So to start this podcast, I thought a great way to start it was. I've never really I'm not gonna tell the story of how I became c-niice or like what the line was to become c-niice. That's a story for a different time. I feel like I'll know when the episode's ready. But I think it's cool because a lot of our friends in high school, me and Nikolay here's friends in high school, had like nicknames. And your nickname, which is stuck as long as c-niice has, is Nik Nasty.
All right. I don't know if it's stuck as long as c-niice, but yeah, Nik Nasty. That was like a senior year field trip adventure. I don't know if you want me to give that story, that rundown.
You took it by storm, and you knew exactly. Where
I knew you were going.
Yeah.
But so practically our senior year of high school. We went down to New York City and kind of Jersey area it was like an AP Bio / Anatomy and Physiology split field trip.
I wish I was able to go, but I didn't want to take whether I could or not, I don't know, but I definitely didn't want to take AP Bio. I knew that for a fact.
Yeah, listen, that's a whole other story to be like how terrible those classes were, but
you had the dream team in there. Though,
I know everyone was in there,
yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so we watched like an live open heart surgery to start the morning, and I was like, well, I don't know how this is gonna. Well, the rest of the day is gonna play out after this. Yeah, I don't know if we can go any higher from here, but practically with this field trip though, our teacher at the time, Mr. Barr, said, all right, you guys can get into as big as groups as you want, and you can walk around New York City and Times Square for about 3 hours.
Kind of insane.
Yeah, that's
honestly, kind of an insane idea for like high school kids. Like,
unsupervised, by the way, too. They were like, just make sure you can get a hold of us somehow.
Yeah, which again, you should be, not get in a bad situation. You should have some type of like thoughts like maybe I shouldn't do this, blah blah blah. Like in high school, kids by themselves in New York City sounds insane to me right now. Like if I was in high school and I was able to do that, it'd be insane. I'd be like so happy. I'd be like, where do I go?
Exactly. Yeah. So we were walking around. We were over by Times Square when practically we were trying to cross the street, and I don't know why I can remember this detail so vividly, but the M&M shop was on the left-hand side across the block.
Okay,
and
so I actually know where you are too, because I've actually been to the M&M shop.
Yeah, see, that's everyone knows that landmark.
Yeah, that's a great detail you have.
So about there's 10 of us in this group, and we're trying to cross the street to get to the next block. Practically I'm in the back, and then the crosswalk goes from cross to you gotta stop. Yeah. So I'm like, oh crap, my friends keep going. So I'm like, oh no, this is gonna be terrible. So, see to my right, there's a bunch of New York City people trying to promote their mixtape.
Yeah, like how you wish they would be.
So I'm like, all right, this is pretty New York City. I was like, I gotta at least interact with them. Awkward senior year me. Yeah. So they get talking to me a bit. They're like, oh, what's your name? And I was like, oh, my name's Nikolay. They're like, where are you from? And I was like, Albany. They're like upstate. And they're like, oh, okay, I feel you. I'm like. All right, great, yeah.
I'm liking this. Like,
So, all right, I'm kind of vibing with this. Yeah. And then the next thing that you hear the iconic line, "You want to buy my mixtape?" So I'm like, I mean, I'll give you a couple bucks for it. I was like, I'll give you $2 for it. And then all of a sudden there was like 3 of them that appeared, and they're like, "How about $5?" I was like, I don't know. And then another like group of them came, and there was probably like 6 or 7 at this point. They're like $10. I was like, "Nah, I'm cool with like 5." And so I give them what I thought was a $5 bill, but after I do that, they hand me a CD, and they're like, "Your name was Nikolay, right?" And they're like, I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, we're gonna call you Nasty Nick." I was like, okay, I mean, that's kind of interesting, but at this point, I was like, I gotta get back to my group, so I grabbed the disc, and then I run across and cross to get back with my group. So we continue the rest of the field trip. I'm telling the story later on the bus ride back, and as I'm telling the story, this one girl was like, "Oh, they called you Nasty Nick," and I was like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Nah, you gotta swap that around. It's gotta be Nick Nasty." With a $. I'm like, yeah, okay, so, I can vibe behind that.
Yeah, so you could definitely like Nasty Nick is cool and all, but I feel like that is too like linear. You know what I mean? I feel like mad people been called Nasty Nick.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think anyone's been called Nick Nasty.
Exactly.
Until I heard my boy Nikolay come out with that heat.
So I kind of stuck, and then I realized on that bus ride back, how I said I thought I gave $5. Yeah. I ended up missing a whole $20 bill. I don't know how they did it, but to this day, that's the mystery of New York City over there.
They did a magic trick on my boy where this man took out a 5 and they clapped twice and it was a 20.
Yeah, exactly. They really swindled me, but yeah, for that nickname, I guess just moving forward, I've mostly only used it when we go out. So I'm just like that. That's kind of like my alias at this point. The alter ego.
This man, when he turns into a freak, he turns into Nik Nasty.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I loved. I'm so happy you were able to take the reins and take control of that, because that's where I was leading to, telling the story about that. Because my story, like when I think it's gonna be. I think I'm using this as a shroud of mystery, maybe to make people think like, really, how do you came up with it? But the c-niice story is horrible, man. And when I tell it, everyone's gonna be mad, disappointed. Like, there's one person that knows the true meaning of where I got c-niice from. It's because he figured it out, So it was my boy Scouty B.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
So he knows the real reason of why I'm called c-niice, and I won't tell it to anyone else until it's time.
I was gonna say, yeah, because you kind of have that whole c-niice story kind of shrouded in mystery. Yeah, no one really knows.
No one, I mean, I personally made up the name myself, like that. I won't say anything too crazy, but I did make up the name myself, and I self-promoted calling myself. I was the only one who called myself c-niice. I'll tell the story of how I became c-niice, but not what made me become c-niice, because that's a good story. But freshman year, basically, I was like, I want to call myself c-niice. It would be cool. I thought I could be a rapper. I don't know, whatever you thought in middle school or high school. You know what I mean? I thought it'd be cool to have a nickname like that. So I just started calling myself c-niice since 9th grade. And let me tell you what, if you go long enough time doing something like calling yourself a name, it will stick eventually. That's what I learned, man. Usually people are like, you can't make your own nickname, but I called myself c-niice until senior year when it finally clicked, and everyone was like, that's c-niice, yo. So it took 4 years for it to grow into where it was, but I have people's like parents calling me, like Peter's parents call me c-niice.
Yep.
Miss Salo, my Spanish teacher, Miss Salo, who was a Mahonison Spanish teacher, and I loved her to death, man. By senior year, by like the middle, she was just calling me c-niice. Like I was just known. I wrote c-niice in every Spanish yearbook or Spanish textbook.
Yeah.
I wrote c-niice in every single one. I was like good at promoting, kind of like in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People would erase my name. People would cross out c-niice. Like I don't know. Like people had this hate because they see it everywhere.
I mean, on a little bit of a side note, you remember senior year when we had the hoop?
Oh my!
And were you in that Spanish class where Miss Salo dunked on everyone?
Yeah, so this is a great story too, Nikolay. That's awesome that you led there, because I didn't even have this written down, nor did I have this memory in my brain until right when you talked about this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because what was it? It was senior. It was like the last day of school, like senior picnic / like last day.
Basically, they let the
prank day, like senior prank day, I think too. No, it wasn't. It was a different day, but it was like the last day of like senior year of high school.
It was literally the last day. I think we got our yearbooks either that day or the day before. It was like right near the end. And we didn't have to go to class, and basically we did go to class, but like we didn't do anything in class, and we just did whatever we want. And I remember our idea, I think, did you bring one in too, or?
It was me because I remember this Nerf hoop that I had like in my house since I was like 8 years old because it was like a really nice kind of like Nerf plastic basketball hoop. I used to play on that thing in my kitchen all the time. Feel like I was an NBA star, but anyway, yeah.
Thank you for bringing this up because I'm gonna cut us off a little bit, but bring us back to the story. The picture that I'm gonna use for the podcast that you see on YouTube is going to be the picture of me dunking with Nikolay holding the hoop in the back. Yo, I have this picture as a watermark because it was professional photographers. That is, man, that I'm gonna put myself in a blender right there. But they were professional photographers at this event, like at the end, and we were just going crazy, yo. Which to the point where we got this beautiful scene of me dunking over one of our friends at the time, Justin Hess. Shout out to my boy, but. Literally I was caught, and he was a taller dude at the time, like 6'2", 6'3", so there's this picture of me dunking over it. Nikolay's holding it in the background, our boy Steve's in the front shaking Justin's hand. I don't know where we thought of this great scene, but we got it, and man, I am looking like any great, man.
Yeah, and listen, to hype up c-niice a little bit more, you know, I'm like a pretty tall individual. At that time I was like 6 feet.
Yeah, no.
So I got my long lanky arms up. That's not an easy dunk.
You know, I mean, is it a push off? Do I grab the shoulder and you do it? 100%, man. I'm in high school. But is this one of the coolest things? This is my Sports Center top 10 moment right here. Me putting my boy in a blender, man. Putting my boy in a poster. But that will be the picture. There's going to be a watermark around the front. It's going to look so bad, but we never was able to get the full pictures. We tried to look them up online. There's a story, too. I didn't even find this picture till, like, months after, like, we graduated. Because, do you remember who posted on Twitter?
Oh God, who posted it to Twitter?
So it wasn't even like one of my close friends, but this was someone who I'd known forever. Like we were friends like in middle. It was like one of those elementary school friends, and I think we played baseball together, and I was like close with his family. But it was my boy Eddie Hirasimowicz.
Oh man,
my boy Eddie Hirasimowicz finds this picture. Yo, I guess he's going through like the catalog of like all the professional pictures, and he found it and like posted on Twitter. He's like, "Hey, c-niice, like this is dope." Yeah. And I was like, I like didn't forget about the picture, but I'd given up. I was like, "There's no way this is gonna be found." Like he was just some random dude taking pictures. He's not gonna give them out. And we found the picture. We still have it saved to this day, like on my phone, on like probably Discord and anywhere else. But oh man, I'm so happy you brought that story up. But to go back to the original point, which was Salo. Yeah. So we happened to be in Spanish class, which was I think. It was before lunch, or
it was when I had like Spanish senior year. It was like periods 3 and 4 on every other day. Okay. So it was definitely before like 10:30. But I mean, just even kind of like backtracking even a little bit more, like the whole reason why we brought that hoop in. I don't even know how we all decided we were like, let's bring a basketball hoop in, but. Listen, I feel like that was like one of the smarter ideas that we did because everyone was getting involved in that.
Yeah. So what was really cool about this idea is like everyone people are air horns. Like I can't explain like what everyone brought. I just don't remember honestly. But it was just like so like the air like like lots of those. Maybe silly string.
Silly string and
So people just brought things in to like cause havoc and make noise basically.
Yeah.
But Nikolay coming up with seeing his thing, and I think because I think we talked about it I think we talked about like we
definitely did or something.
I don't know. Like, I want to say you definitely brought the idea because I was like I'm gonna bring in one too. I think there were 2 hoops.
I think there was 2 of them. Yeah,
there was 2 hoops, and I think I might have brought in one, and Nikolay brought in one, but it was definitely Nikolay's idea because I was like that's so good of an idea. And later we got people like that we weren't even like that close with. That we had so many people dunking on people. I remember, so we had someone who, like I said, we weren't close with. Maybe Gavin was close with, of course, but it was someone named Nate Crespo, who was a starting quarterback. Like everyone knew him basically. He was a cool kid. He was always nice to me. I don't want to tell a story about me being on the team senior year, but he was always nice to me and he's always friendly. But he got into it, it was like I don't know what to call it in high school, but there was like this middle area. Where
it was like kind of like the central hub of our school because our school was like 2 squares practically.
Literally it was like a figure 8 almost.
Yeah, it was like a figure 8 of squares, and there was like one connecting spot like right near the library. There
was like this trading post they called it where like you could get things.
No one ever bought from there. I think I only picked up like a required Regents book there. Yeah. That was the only time I ever used that trading post.
But I definitely didn't use the trading post either. But there was that there, and then there was the library, and then there was like a TV, I think. There was like which would be like just normal like school stuff would be on the TV. But for whatever reason, I think like we had a lot of people in that area at the time. Do you remember the story?
Well, I just remember because the whole like tradition of like that last day was that all the seniors were supposed to clog up like that central area.
Yeah, okay, so that's why we were doing it. Now, thank you.
That's the reason why.
So we had everyone clogging up the area because we were like, oh, we're causing havoc. Like, you can't get to your class.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, like, I don't know who got the hoop. I don't know who was holding up the hoop at the time. I don't know if it was you. I don't remember who. But someone got a hoop, and someone got Nate Crespo the ball.
Yep.
And this man threw it down on the librarian.
Yeah.
The librarian got dunked
and
on.
then just everyone went crazy.
Yeah.
You know, there's like air horns going off.
Oh
People were
my
dropping silly string all over the place. Everyone's like, holy
we've
crap.
this is like the middle near the end, I think, of the day. I don't know.
It was like right in between like periods 4 and 5. It was like 10:30 in the morning. This is pretty early.
This is right after Spanish, I think this happened.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
So we have our Spanish class, and then Miss Salo. Okay, so we'll tell the story. We didn't even tell the story. We're jumping. But we'll tell Nate. We'll do it in the order now. But basically, we were in Spanish 3-4, which is like and it was like an 80 period class. Like
80 minutes. Yeah.
It started at 1-2, so then it goes 3-4. Obviously, it's early in the day. And we just are hyping up the Spanish teacher, like we're all just having fun, and then we take this video where we hang up the hoop in the Spanish class. Someone gets Miss Salo the ball. She like run like Michael Jordan.
Yeah, she was about to take off from the free throw line.
She
yeah,
jumps and slams and brings the hoop
down. Yeah,
we have our whole Spanish class, which I think is like not even that many people there.
It was like by the time like Spanish 5, it was like senior year. There was like 15 to maybe 17 people per class.
People.
Yeah.
Everyone was riding with it. Everyone was down to do this.
Yeah.
And everyone just starts yelling. And we still have the video to this day. Like maybe I'll even post it on this YouTube channel or something.
Yeah.
Like who knows? But the video's so funny, and she just dunks it, and it just gets crazy. And then our boy Jay did an edit, which is funny. Our boy Jay did an edit on the video, which was one of the Michael Jordan memes. This kid's got 1 million, so I was gonna say the Michael Jordan meme, where it's the one where he's like doing a commercial, I think.
For McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's a commercial for McDonald's. Yeah.
It's the one who goes, "Stop it. Get some help."
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think is hilarious. It was so good, man.
And I remember too that that memed video had Big Green Tractor. I don't know which country artist it was, but that song's playing in the background for some reason.
Big Green Tractor.
Come and take a ride on my Big Green Tractor. Is just playing in the background. But
I'm happy you don't know who that is, because I don't.
I don't listen to country like that.
No, yeah, it's so funny.
But then like with to go back to Crespo, practically he dunked on our librarian that a lot of people didn't like throughout high school.
She was kind of like, you know, I mean, I feel like everyone's got some type of like ideas about the librarian. Like it's like the media, the stigma is all like, oh, they're all mean and old and like hate loud people.
Well, she kind of was those things sometimes.
The thing. Like, she was sometimes mean to students.
Yeah.
Like if you were loud in the library, she would tell you.
Yeah,
which is kind of like, you know what I mean?
I get it.
But we are kids.
Exactly. Yeah, we're like stupid 17, 18-year-olds
like
at this
you
point.
Said, though, a lot of people were on the did not like her as much. But I think she took it well. She wasn't mad or anything about it. She kind of just accepted her getting dunked on.
I think she just was in shock, honestly.
But so everyone was like, I think it was cheering too because it was the librarian. Like we dunked on this person who was mean to us for 4 years, and like we did it to her, and the whole class was down with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's another thing. Like I talked about it when we talked about the fight and all of us standing together in 8th grade. We had like in the grand scheme of things, like when it came down to us doing group things and like having fun, our class really stuck together and had a good time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we always had each other's backs,
no
matter like if you were like in with the cool crowd or if you were like anyone. Like everyone kind of backed each other up, no matter what.
We had a lot of respect from anyone, from doesn't matter from A last name to Z last name. Like we had a lot of respect for each other, whether we said it out loud or not. Which I think is so cool because like. We literally like Nate Crespo wouldn't be someone who we talk to on a day-to-day basis, but he like saw the fun in it, and we were like, let's go.
Yeah, let's just do this.
Let me dunk on. I remember he was like, let me dunk on this Bachman. I was like, go ahead, kid.
Go,
like, this is
do
gonna
it.
Be sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. And if you get in trouble for it, but you probably won't.
No.
But like, just go for it. Yeah.
Like we didn't see nothing, man.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was so dope.
It was a real fun time. But I mean, I guess like I don't know, not to swap topics a little bit, but yeah, I don't know, like kind of like from where our friendship started though. The thing is like there's people in our friend group that I can piece to be like, okay, like I've known Pete since, you know, like elementary because I played basketball with him, and I've known Steve since middle school because me and him used to, practically get into fights on the soccer team
Yeah.
because he was saying stuff. But we're all friends now. But for some reason, I don't know. For you particularly, I don't have like a set like. This is where we started becoming friends, and I always like say in my mind that it was because of tennis, but I feel like it was before that too. I don't even know how
we were always, me and Nikolay. This is why I started it with the intro of telling the Nik Na story, because the easiest intro that I've been doing, if I'm like worrying or if I don't know, I'll be like just the origin story, because it's an easy thing and everyone likes to hear the origin story, how you become friends and like how we like why you're even on this episode. You know what I mean? The origin story helps to see that. But it's so great that you brought that up, because we don't have like a set thing or a set day. We always had friends that were friends, but we were the friend of friend. You know what I mean? I was friends with Kyle, and and you weren't really friends with Kyle in high school. It was kind of like iffy.
Yeah, like I knew Kyle, but I was never like close with Kyle.
Yeah, but you were friends with Steve. Like you were close with Steve, and you were close with Jay.
Yep.
And close with like that group. But I played Xbox, man, and it's so like, oh, you played Xbox and PlayStation, but there was literally a divide in high school where if you played Xbox, you hung out more with Xbox people. It just made sense.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, you didn't even live that far, but like I lived close to Kyle and Matt. I hung out with Matt a lot too in high school. And like Brad and like them. Like it was just a different. It was literally the people who played Xbox I hung out with, and I didn't talk to the people who played PlayStation until literally I got a computer.
Yeah, that is true, because you bring up a good point, because like you said, like Jay, Steve, we all had PlayStations. We were all PlayStation users.
Like even like Steve Bennett and like Andre, like
we were all PlayStation.
It was literally spread out like that, but we knew each other and we did hang out like in high school. Like we definitely
did. Yeah.
And I think you're right. I think tennis one became really good friends.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
I think we both had. It was just fun, man. Timmy was dope. Like it was just fun. Tennis was so fun. It
was a great time on that tennis team.
Oh
so.
yeah. We weren't the best by any means, but we were never
far
the worst.
from it.
We were never the worst.
We were never the worst, but we were close to it.
Excuse me. It was funny because I'm working on an episode with my friend Josh right now, and the way the audio is, it's like I didn't bring my audio. I went to his house. I didn't bring my audio board. Really jacked it up. Forgot the cord. Brought the audio board. Forgot the power cord.
Oof.
So I'm like trying to edit this one, and it's hard because I did double phones. Like we did double phones.
Yeah.
But I talked about tennis a little bit, so I don't know when that's gonna come out, but. I don't want to talk a little bit too much about tennis, but I talked about Paul a lot on tennis because he was so good and he just couldn't catch a win on that last year.
Yeah.
That's what I talked about, because that's a great story. He was so skill-wise, just so good, and he just couldn't get a win for whatever.
I know. I don't know what it was. Yeah, he just always got the short end of the stick.
He literally got the short end of the stick every time. But that's so I love so I think tennis was our origin, like becoming great friends.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then I think when we started to get older, like senior year tennis. And then, like, the first year of college, I think when we really, like, that's when we became as close as we are now.
Exactly,
I think
yeah.
We're super close.
For sure.
I trust you a lot. You're one of my people up there. Like, every episode I said your name, man. It's like you're one of the people up there that I really just enjoy being around.
Oh, I appreciate it, yeah, for sure. And I appreciate being on the show.
Oh, yeah. No, I was just, it's sometimes hard for me to think of topics of people because, like, some people like you, we've had so many experiences. It's like I don't know what to talk about. Shayna was the same way, where I had so many experiences. Like, what's gonna be good to talk about?
Listen, the thing is like now that we're just sitting in this room talking right now, I feel like I got so many different topics that I can bring up towards. But this is gonna be like out of left field. But remember in like start of quarantine, and I think it was you and someone else bought a pair of Vapor Maxes. It was definitely you, but someone else. And like, yeah, I bought them off StockX, and I had no idea what StockX was.
Yeah, so I remember. So this was the prime of quarantine. Like this was, I think, right after. Because in case you didn't know, like obviously, well, in case you didn't know, but quarantine hit, and then like if you've lost your job, like they'd give you the chunk, right?
Yeah.
So this was like right when I got the chunk. Like this was literally you couldn't work. Like unless you got lucky. Like my job, like everyone's job base got trashed if you weren't working in a career or something crazy like that. So I lost my job for a good chunk of those months. Rest in peace, Flight Trampoline Park. But I remember it was right when I got the money back, and I was like, oh, I deserve, you know what I mean? I was mentally destroyed from quarantine. I want to make myself feel better, and buying stuff always makes you feel a little better.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
So I remember I bought a couple clothes, bought some PacSun clothes, where I got the going out shirt that I love.
The Jimi Hendrix shirt.
The Jimi Hendrix shirt I love too, and a lot of my shorts too. Those jean shorts I love. But I bought double Vapor Max. I bought 2 pairs of Vapor Maxes. And I love them to death, man. The gray ones I just wear a lot now, and they're so awesome. But the purple ones I keep out for certain occasions.
Certain occasions, yes, sir.
Yeah, that's when I wear the Jimi Hendrix shirt. I usually wear the purple Vapor Maxes because it mixes. But I remember I asked our boy Hamza who was gonna come on, but he had to do some work stuff, so his episode's coming soon. But I remember I asked our boy Hamza, and he's like, "This is the website to go to," and it was StockX.
Yeah.
And it's like a betting. It's like almost like a bidding thing where people will sell, I think, multiple pairs, and you set the price on what you want to like buy it from.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can get them cheap, like if you catch the right time. I didn't spend too much money on them, but I spent more money than I ever spent on shoes. Like those are my most money I've ever purchased shoes for, because I spend like $60 usually.
I got you. Yeah, because like once I saw that you got those, I was like, I might have to, try this out and see what the hubbub is. But
Nikolay turned a little sneakerhead there for a second.
I think I still am a little bit, because I think I got like 13 pairs of shoes at this point, which is bad. And I definitely wear like rotate out like maybe 5 or 6 of them at most. I'm like, man, I really don't need all these shoes.
Yeah, I think I'm bad because I literally have like, I feel like I have 3 sets of shoes. There's my shoe I wear every day, which are disgusting. They're old. I like mow my lawn in those shoes. Like I go to the gym in those shoes. Those are my shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're right there. They're the ones that are discolored and disgusting.
Oh yeah, I know which ones you're talking about.
Those are disgusting. They're right below Nikolay right now. And then there's my second pair, which is the gray Vapor Maxes, which is like, it looks kind of like similar, and that's like my just doing normal stuff shoe. That's like not crazy. Like if I'm gonna go out and look good, like I'll wear the gray Vapor Max.
Yeah.
And then I got the Nike shoes I also bought. Remember you put me on those.
I think I did. Yeah.
You're the ones who told me to get these shoes, and I was like, these are dope. Those are my going out shoes because they still look clean when the lights are out. You have white shoes, they look clean until the lights turn on.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like everyone's got to have that designated pair of shoes that you wear when you go out.
Because if not, you're gonna get your good shoes disgusting.
Exactly, and you don't want that. So everyone's got to have that designated pair.
So that's my designated going out shoe. And like when I like just want to be semi decent, I wear those shoes because I know like the worst ones are the first ones I talked about, and then the second ones are like some of the best. Third ones are kind of iffy, and then the purple Vapor Maxes are
those
special
only coming out on the wittest of wit situations, for a lack of better words.
If I'm pulling purple, if I'm wearing purple, I'm having either A good time, or B, a good time. You know what I mean? Like,
there's no in between.
I love the color purple. So if I'm pulling purple Vapors and maybe purple socks and a purple shirt,
it's game over for everyone.
Shout out to my girlfriend. Shout out to Shane. I love you to death, man. She got me another purple shirt. She's like, these Vapor Maxes, you cannot only have the Jimi Hendrix shirt. Then got me the purple champion shirt.
Oh,
man. Dark purple. I love it, man. I love the color purple. I've always loved it, and I was like, when I was younger, I used to be stupid, and then like, I can't like purple, and then like I got older, I'm like, bro, purple's so dope.
Purple's sick. It's literally your phone case too.
Yeah.
I mean, as discolored as it is, but still, it's still purple at the heart.
I'm disgusted, man. The thing's beat up. And I got to give a lot of credit to this phone case. It's one of those fake like outer boxes that I got from like a mall kiosk.
Yeah.
This thing eats, yo. Every single phone, the last 2 phones I've gotten, let me knock on wood before anything crazy happens. Knock on wood. I usually don't crack my phones. The one phone I did crack, I didn't have a case on it, and I literally said don't crack. I dropped it, smashed it. It's my fault. I jinxed myself to death. But every other phone I got on the next phone, I put my keys and my phone in the same pocket. Scratched the screen. This phone literally, like probably 2 days after, I don't know if you can see it. There's a slight scratch on my phone.
You can barely see it.
But literally like 2 days after I got it, I just paid for this phone. Like I was so excited, I literally scratched it, and I was like, I'm disappointed in myself. But I've had it for like over a year and a half since then, and like I love this phone to death, man. iPhones literally lose battery so fast when you get them and then you use them for a long time, but. So I remember the battery life on this phone when I first got it, and it's just literally like, it's not the same, but I still love my phone.
That's the thing, yeah. Apple wants you to buy their next phone. They really do finesse you. They're like, all right, well, you have your phone for a year. It's time to get another one. Time to spend more money.
And they don't catch me though, because the phone I have an iPhone 11, but the phone I had before this was an iPhone 6.
Yeah.
So now they're gonna catch me at either an iPhone 17 or an iPhone 22.
Yeah, there's no in between for you. Yeah, for me, I'm like holding myself back to be like, man, that 13 was just revealed. Do I really need it? No. Probably not, because I have a 12.
Yeah, exactly. And I just am. The thing is, that's where Apple won't give me with that, because I don't even use nearly enough features on my new phone to get a new phone. They're like, oh, whatever makes it better. It's like, bro, I don't even use the camera enough to get a better camera. Like when people were saying get the iPhone 11 Pro, I'm like, bro, I don't even use the camera.
Yeah, I don't really use my camera that much on it. I mean? Yeah.
Like I take pictures as much as the next guy, but I don't use it enough to where I care.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like for me, it's like I don't really take a lot of photos on my phone a ton. So, it's every once in a while, something special's got to happen. I got to be like, all right, I'll take a photo on my phone because it's convenient and it's going straight to Instagram after. And that's the only time I ever use it.
I have mad photos I want to put on Instagram that I've just been holding, I want to switch gears here.
Okay.
That's a transition word and working on right there. That's what some people say. It's trash. I think an important thing we talk about is something that is actually near and dear to my heart, and it's important for both of us because in high school, this is back to a high school topic.
Okay.
Me and Nikolay were very awkward in high school, right? Me and Nikolay were very awkward. I did not know how to talk to human beings. I did not know how to talk to men or female. I did not know how to talk to adults.
Yeah, I was right in the same boat with you.
You know what I mean? I worried so much, man. I think as I've gotten older, I realized that it's my worrying that's what holds me back almost. And I feel like once we got to college, man, you really learn like no one knows what they're doing. No one knows what to say.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Everyone is nervous. Everyone is all these things, and then you just blossom. Like you can blossom into this person where you're like, man, I'm really that dude that I just didn't know about, and I think we both did that.
I would say so for sure. Yeah, I mean, like a good point you brought up. It's like you go to college and everyone kind of you're back at square one. It's a fresh start. Like no one knows each other. You can be whoever you want. But I mean, if anything, you should really just kind of be yourself, and then people will gravitate towards you for just being yourself. I mean, that's something that I definitely have learned, and like in college and then just even social settings. Like if you're just yourself and you have a good time and you're with people that also want to have a good time, other people will gravitate towards you because you are having a good time.
Literally, the biggest thing I'll say whenever this is more an earlier thing than a recent thing, but whenever whether Nikolay wouldn't say this, but whether some of our friends would be like, we're looking to go out and find girls, like, and they would like very few, like, and I'd be like, the best way to do it, man, is if we just go to the bar and just have a good time together. Like, it doesn't matter. It would be girls, it would be guys. People will come up to us and also have a good time.
Exactly.
The energy you radiate with having a good time is stronger than any pickup line, than any thing you do. Like, you just having a good time and being, like you said, being yourself and having a good time, singing to the music, like doing what people like to do. People when they have fun, you will attract so many more people than you going out on a limb and like trying to like chat it up. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
Some people will be down with it, but most people will be like, bro, that's like some trash. Like,
it's like you're trying too hard. It's like just have a good time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think to go back to the topic at hand, I think we both really learned, like, I mean, whether these ideas you have of yourself are usually your ideas that are just you talking yourself down. Like in high school, I was like, oh man, like this, everyone does it, man. You're like, oh man, I literally just don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to speak, and I don't like how I look. All blah blah blah. All these things, all these insecuriries. And then you get to college, man. And you meet people that are, like I said, out of a completely different wheelhouse. My friends were from downstate, from Long Island, from Beacon, from Newark, from Buffalo. I had people from all over. A girl that I went to our high school I didn't even know about was someone that I was friends with in the time. She did more band stuff, and I didn't do band, so I didn't even know her. It's like you learn about all these different ideas, and you learn, like, people are nice. Most people are nice when you just meet them, and most people will be friendly to you, and they'll tell you the truth. You know what I mean? I would always, my friends would always be like, yo, you're so... They'd hype me up, and this wouldn't be the truth. This is more like them just trying to hype me up. But they'd be like, just be confident, man. You're so good looking, right? You're good looking. Be confident. And I'm just like, you're my friends. You have to tell me that. But when you have they weren't my friends. They were just random people, kind of just trying to make me feel better for feeling bad or whatever. And you really learn when you get new perspectives and new ideas that the ones you had before were stupid.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, I wish I could have the confidence of that time that I visited you up in Oswego and that guy literally ripped an ATM out of the floor. Like, that's confidence right there. Like, that man was on a different aura, a different existence plane to just say, I'm going to rip an ATM up off the floor.
Nikolay came, I think. Did you come one or two times?
I came one time, and it was sophomore year of college.
Sophomore year. I was going to say it's sophomore year because I remember the aesthetic that I was in sophomore year. I think the Olympics were on.
Yep, they were. I remember that.
The Olympics were on, and we ended up going to this bar in Oswego known as
we went to Ferris.
Went to Ferris, and we go to Ferris, and Ferris is like the OG bar. Like, if you go to Oswego, like one of the bars, I think they might be closed, or I don't know, man. After COVID, everything got jacked up in my brain. I don't know. Like, I think Juan Zones was opening in January. Like, I might have to stop there. Like, I don't know what's happening, but Ferris was the bar to go to. So Ferris was the OG. And it was like downstairs was like a chill. Like, they'd sometimes have a live band downstairs. There was pool tables. It was like the kind of the chill part. Doesn't mean it doesn't get crazy when a lot of people were there, but it was the chill area. Upstairs was like the dance hall area. There was just a dance floor, and there was an ATM in the corner, and then there was like bartenders like on the right side. So we're literally just in Ferris, just doing our normal stuff. I think dancing. I can't tell you what song. I can't tell you what's happening.
Well, I can tell you what song was playing. It was God's Plan because they would play that song nonstop the whole night. I think I heard it like 6 times.
Oh man, we heard God's Plan like 4 times that night, and I think we went to literally 4 times that night.
It was terrible.
And it was like in the hype of God's Plan, so of course they played it 4 times. But this was like they played God's Plan so much that whole I would say it. I'd literally be like, "Watch God's Plan's coming." It was early when it came on. I'm like, "Watch God's Plan's gonna come on a couple more times." Yeah, it literally did because I saw it happen multiple like weeks in a row, weekends I should say.
But anyway, yeah, back to the guy with the ATM.
Well, yeah, literally we were just at the bar, yo, and then all of a sudden I hear this smash, yo. I remember, and it was so loud because you don't understand how heavy an ATM is. Like I've never even tried to move one. But the sheer willpower you have to do to slam. I think it wasn't giving money. I think it was out or like
something. Yeah.
And he was so mad. He just rips this thing down to the ground. And then he gets like, and then mad bouncers come out and just take this guy out.
Well, yeah.
But there's like glass and stuff all over the place. I'm like, this is the most. I'm like, Nikolay, this will never happen again.
Yeah.
What you just saw right now.
It's a 1 in a million chance of that ever happening.
Craziness. But yeah, and then I think they just kept going. Like, it didn't even matter. Because it wasn't, like, on the dance floor. The ATM was far enough in the corner where it was, like, kind of in its own area. Mm-hmm. And then, like, they didn't stop anything. They just took the guy out, and then we just kept, like, doing it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But then, yeah, just, the night continued just as we were. It was kind of snowing. I remember I didn't bring, like, a full jacket. I just remember taking, what was that bus called?
The D-bus,
The D-bus, yeah, the D-bus. I just remember getting pizza from Cam's.
Yeah, a slice, right?
Slice from Cam's and then freezing and then making it back onto the bus. And then that was the end of the night. And I was like, yeah, some dude ripped an ATM off the floor.
That's what you think the end of the night was. But this man did get a Wanzone calzone.
Did I?
At 4 a.m. Yo,
oh, yeah.
Yo, so we ordered calzones and they came. Sometimes they'd come late. Like, I'm not gonna roast Wanzone's calzones for any reason because these are the greatest drunk food, bar food, college food I've ever had. To this day, I would give up so much of my life to have a Wanzone's calzones near me. Actually, it's probably better I don't because I would order so much from there. But we ended up ordering, I think, like late, like 2:30. If you order that late, you're expecting to not get it till late. And I think it came at like 3:30 or 4. It was so late.
I was ready to go to bed. I was like,
Nikolay
I don't care about this.
Asleep by the time it came, and I remember you ate half of it.
Yeah, and
it was cold. Like they gave us like cold calzones, man. And the worst part was I ate a second half and I ate my
it's like that was that good.
Like, I don't want this.
You're like, yo, this is bussin', bro. I gotta have the rest of it.
I used to house it. I think I got a concussion, and I think you might have got a concussion, or you might have got a Tomcat.
God, I don't remember that. I don't think I want to remember that now at this point.
But I remember how many calzones I ate, so I remember that it was probably something with those two, maybe a Paggy, but I'm guessing a concussion and a Tomcat. But yeah, that was dope. But I'm just to finish off the topic that at hand that we just keep jumping from. I'm just really happy with how far we've grown from the high school person to where we both, I feel, very confident in ourselves.
Yeah.
I think we both understand like maybe not like our worth, I want to say. That's kind of like cheesy. It's kind of like a line cliche almost. But we understand, we know like what we can bring to the table, and we know that we can have fun, and we know that we're fun people.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree.
You know what I mean? And then if you don't see that, then you're stupid.
Exactly. I mean, kind of like shifting a little bit, but like one thing that we do a lot with us and our friends too is we go see a movie a decent amount of times, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, for you, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Do you have like a favorite like movie that we've seen as a group?
Man, let me think of all the movies we've seen, man.
We've seen quite a lot of horror movies, I will say. Like that's usually our bread and butter is going to see
the first Conjuring?
The first one, no. We saw the second one though.
Because the second one, I had a lot of fun, honestly. The second one was, I sometimes feel like in the movie theater, and because they do the lighting well. It matters how loud the movie theater is. Sometimes a movie theater can lose how scary it is by if people are loud and like it's like a obnoxious theater. But I feel like The Conjuring 2 was super scary.
It was, yeah.
Theater, right? And
the tent scene still scares me to this day.
Oh my gosh, there was so many good scenes in that movie that just really surprised you and really got your heart moving.
Mm-hmm. I'm
trying to think, man. We've seen so many movies. I don't want to. I feel.
Listen,
like
you can go with The Conjuring 2.
I feel like
I'm not gonna.
Go with The Conjuring 2 because I can't think of any ones else that are sticking out to me at this very moment. But We've seen a lot.
So for me,
yeah, what is yours?
I would say probably one of the greatest movie memories is seeing Annabelle 2.
Yeah.
Do you remember what we were wearing that day?
Oh man, I don't. What? Give me the rundown.
So there's a picture. It's me, you,
Okay. Yep.
me, you, Steve, and Timmy, and we're all wearing this bright yellow beef jerky outlet shirt that we got because we went to a like a minor league baseball game.
Yeah. So there's a minor league team which is it's the Houston Astros minor league team. In case you didn't know, in fact of the day, it's the Houston Astros. I think single A or double A. I don't remember what Valley Cats is.
I think it's double, but I could be wrong.
Me too. That's why I'm like 50-50 on it.
Mm-hmm.
But we end up going. Our friend Timmy's like, hey, do you want to go to a free Valley Cats game? That's how he sets it up.
Yeah.
He's like, do you want free Valley Cats tickets? And we're like, yeah, that's fun. Don't have to pay for it. You know what I mean?
Why not? Yeah.
He's like, all you gotta do is come here early, and we're like, yeah, it's fine. I think he told us at that time, but I'm gonna
I think that's exactly what he said. He's like, yeah, just come here early. You're gonna pass out stuff.
Yeah. So we're like, whatever. We're just gonna pass out all the things. But we were free. We worked for free for the beef jerky outlets to give out I think they were either coupons or just
it was just practically like promo material.
Yeah, we basically were just giving out promo material in front of the stadium. Because that was just some horrible English, man. I hate myself. But and we had to wear these bright yellow. It looked very McDonald's-esque. It was like a bright yellow and the lettering was very red.
It was kind of like Ronald McDonald's suit if it was halfway there. You know what I mean? It was halfway there.
It was more yellow than red, but it was I felt like you could tell we were promo by the colors. And we were just trying to talk to people and hand out these coupons to anyone that would give us 2 seconds of time. And I don't remember what the teams we split up, but we split up into 2 teams.
Yeah.
And we were just trying to get these things out as fast as we can, because the faster we gave out all of them, the faster we can get to the game.
Yeah.
So then we end up keeping we kept the shirts.
Yeah, we kept the shirts. Yeah, I still have my shirt. I wear it to bed all the time.
Yeah, it's definitely a sleep shirt now. But every once in a while, if we can get our 4, me, Nikolay, Timmy, and Steve all together, we will wear the shirts out.
Yeah.
And this was the first time we did where we wear them out in the middle of just the mall.
Just the middle of public. Yeah. So we ended up seeing that movie. There's a photo of the 4 of us. And then we went and saw that movie, and I just remember everyone was like, yo, that movie was so scary. Because it was. I mean, it was a really fun time, and we're all wearing the same matching shirt. So just those 2 memories combined together, I'm like, that was awesome.
That was dope, yo. And I think it's great. You know what I mean? I feel like if you take too many pictures, you can lose stuff in time. You know what I mean? You can lose pictures for taking too many. Mm-hmm. But I think that one is just stuck in my brain. I remember the pose I was standing. I had 1 foot up behind my leg. I remember that. I think I had a hat on.
You
which
did.
I never.
I believe you did too.
You know what I mean? I can remember this whole thing, this picture, because I've seen it a lot. But also, you're right. It connects the memories so fondly to that movie. It's so easy for me to connect them. And I love when you have a picture like that where it's complete just that setting. Where it's from.
Yeah.
When you go out and take pictures, it's hard to because you take a million of them, it's hard to figure out where exactly. But I can remember exactly where, when, why.
Yeah, exactly. You can remember everything.
The 5 W's.
Yep, exactly. And just for me, that was you were saying about growth, and this is going to be dumb to say, but for me, we're talking about personal growth and whatnot, but even still, I was so afraid of horror movies, so badly. Middle school, I don't even care. I'll go out and say it. Middle school, if I went and saw a movie, I would run out of the theater if there was a scary. That was when Paranormal Activity was huge. I would run out of the theater and be like, all right, once the trailer's done, I'll come back in.
What I'll say is too, in middle school, I was the same way, man. I had so many bad just anxieties about stuff. I was always afraid of people are gonna not fully afraid, but it would always be in the back of my mind. And then when I moved to my brother's room, it got bad sometimes where I'd be like, man, someone's gonna break into my house and yam me. I'm gonna get killed.
Uh-huh.
Why? Probably not. I have no idea why. I felt like that. But when I moved to my brother's room in my old house, the garage, there was a garage light that would go off when there was movement. So anytime I'd see the garage light go off in the back, it was at the top of the garage. So it'd be animals would run and go off. Mm-hmm. But anytime I see the light turn on, I'd be like, yep, I'm going to get murked. This is the day. I'm going to get murked.
Yeah.
But as I got older, like you said, you start to realize that's not crazy. But I was very afraid too at that time.
Yeah, that's the thing. And then you guys kind of forced me to start watching horror movies. Shout out to Pete's Basement.
Yeah.
Because that was the first time I ever watched a horror movie. VHS 2. Yeah. First horror movie I ever watched in my life. After being full through, because I was so scared and I wouldn't watch them, and now they're probably one of my favorite genres to watch.
Yeah. When I was younger, I feel like whatever reason, the number 7 years old. When I was 7 years old, this is sticking out to me. I watched Alien vs. Predator.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That could be completely wrong. I don't remember how old I was. But that movie terrified me. For mad years. Like when until I was like probably like getting into high school. But I would just be afraid of that. Like I was just afraid of everything as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I was just so nervous. I don't know why. I think as I got older, I learned to kind of control these overthinking and just these thoughts. But like, man, I would just overthink about stupid stuff like alien gonna yam on me. Like,
alien coming out of nowhere and just be like, all right, I'm here to kill you.
Predator.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You should have really been afraid of Predator.
I know, man, but no, but that's a good topic to bring up because man, I was so afraid when I was a kid. I would just be so afraid of everything. And then even like talking to, like I said, I think
that's what I'm saying. You can come with such like stupid. It might sound dumb and stupid, but it's like even just small things. You're like, oh, wow, I grew so much from just doing this or doing that to be like, okay, I'm completely different than I was back then.
But I'll tell a little bit of the story about us like first seeing the scary movies. I remember we would sometimes this was the year after high school? This was the summer.
No, this was senior year of high school.
Oh, during senior? Okay.
It was because I remember the first time we did it was me and Timmy had like a Spanish Honor Society like event to go to, and you guys had a bowling match.
Okay.
So we went from the event to the end of your bowling match, and then we went to Pete's basement afterwards and watched a movie, and then we made that like a weekly thing for such a long time.
Yeah. Was it every week?
It was weekly for a while. Okay. Like every Friday, we would all go to Pete's and watch a scary movie.
I didn't remember how I remember watching a lot of movies though. I do remember that we watched, and it wasn't even all scary movies. I think we did scary movies for like a couple weeks, and then like
and then it turned into just like even just a basic movie night.
Yeah. I think Gavin did Gavin watch the scary ones with us? Was he there?
No, because Gavin was like, I'm not watching like the dumb horror movies. So like if we're watching a movie that like I like I'll watch it, and it was cool. It was a nice like change of pace.
No, and Gavin's someone who is a movie. You call him movie buff? Would you say he's up there?
I mean, Gavin watches a lot of stuff.
That's why I call him a buff. Just
yeah.
But Gavin's just smart, so he can watch it once and just got it, man. But I think and once we watch like scary movies and trash movies in the beginning. Like I think we just watched some Garbo movies because
it was
like
we
it was
want
like
to
us
laugh.
hanging out, like just hanging out.
Yeah.
But and then eventually we were like, Gavin, why don't you come to these? And he's like, you guys watch stupid. He literally said it, like, you guys watch dumb movies. I don't want to watch this trash. And I was like, all right, if you come, pick the movie that we watch,
and we'll watch it. Yeah.
And I remember one movie that stands out to me is Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah,
we watched
right.
that movie.
Yep.
And that one was super dope. Like that was such a great. I'm happy we watched because I never watch. I'm not a movie guy. I'm not a TV guy. That's not me. C-niice watches very few things.
Chopped.
If this makes it to Hulu executives, because I always like to bring out random people. Please, I don't know what made you drop Chopped from.
Wait, it's off Hulu?
They don't. Chopped is on no streaming service right now.
What?
They literally like one day I was looking. I was like on like I'll be on Hulu and I'll like just look. I'll be like, all right, whatever. What do I want to watch? This is not by myself. This is when I have either people in my house with me or like I will never watch by myself. But I remember I'm looking for the keep watching tab, and I look through every keep watching thing I have. Chop's not there.
Wow.
And I felt it in my heart. I was like, they got rid of it. I know they got rid of it. Like, it's not a glitch or nothing. They got rid of it. We go on Chop, click on it, and it's like, we don't have this anymore. They have Chopped Sweets. It's not the same. They have one episode of Chopped. There's one episode of Chopped on Hulu. It's a Chopped Grilled Masters episode. Tim Allen has a beard.
Oh.
Like, I've stared at it, and I never click on it because I know once I watch it, if I know it, it's going to suck. And if I don't know it, I'm going to know it. So I'm just sitting there in perpetual just waiting to watch the one Chopped episode. But I'm so sad. Please Hulu. Please Amazon. Please anyone. Netflix. Anyone. You got to have good. Like, Chopped is elite. I don't know, man. I'm so hurt. You had to bring it up. Now I'm sad.
Listen, I don't want to make you sad, but yeah, still, I don't know that we kind of went into a conversation about Chopped, but I mean, also too, I mean, to move a little bit away from like media and whatnot, we got fantasy basketball season coming up soon.
Oh yeah, that's so awesome you brought it up because that was literally on my list of topics. That was the next one on this list. So how I was gonna turn it, if I were to bring it up, this is how I'd run it down. So you're gonna hear the inner works of c-niice's brain right here for a second.
Okay.
But I'd be like, it was so funny because I remember me and Nikolay was talking about something about fantasy basketball, and it was getting to the playoffs now. So this is the end of the year last year. We started last year, it was our first year, and made a $20 buy-in so people would care.
Yeah.
And we're doing it, and we get to the playoffs, and me and Nikolay are both in the playoffs. And I remember saying to Nikolay, like, how funny would it be if we both win our playoff games, and then it's me and Nikolay in the finals. Literally, we made up this idea, and then we just stole everyone's money, and then we're both splitting the money at the end. Like, I thought that would be so dope if we could do that. But we just ended up we couldn't pull it together.
If anything, it wasn't c-niice. It was definitely me. My team couldn't pull it together in the playoffs.
It wasn't my fault. It wasn't your fault. It was one person's fault, and that's Adam's
fault.
fault.
Adam just had a cheat code team.
Adam, a previous coworker of mine, but definitely a friend of mine, and now a coworker of Nikolay. Well, was a coworker of Nikolay's.
Still is.
And definitely a friend of Nikolay's. Love Adam to death, but he just pulled a team so well. He picked up his waiver wires right, and he drafted insane. You know what I mean? It was. I got lucky because Jokic fell to me, and if you don't pick Jokic top 5, I'm gonna get him 5th.
Yeah, I was gonna say because weren't you like 5th pick or something like that? I was
5th pick, and Jokic fell all the way to me. And the worst part was like I'm kind of a jokester. You know what I mean? I say things that you could take seriously or not. I was telling everybody Jokic is gonna eat this year, and you have to draft Jokic. And when it fell to me, I'm not a liar. You know what I mean? And I drafted Jokic, and he carried me to the finals. I lost second place. I got second place. Which
second place still got some money.
Definitely got some money off that. So I think that was great you brought that up. And this year we're doing something crazy. I talk about it in Kyle Fallon's episode a little bit, but we're doing an offline draft, and I'm so excited for it because offline drafts are so much fun.
Yeah, I've never done an offline draft, so I mean, what's that process like with an offline draft?
So what I have planned in my head is someone will be kind of. I know Sean's like, oh, we'll just do it like blah blah blah, whatever the way he said, which I just don't remember on the spot. Mm-hmm. But what I'll probably do is end up having some guy who's like the host, whether that be me, like just putting the names on the board when we do it, like just hosting it and keeping it moving because we don't want this to take too long. It shouldn't take too long. Everyone should have their ideas. I remember when we did it in my fantasy basketball league, people would have their laptops there, or people would print out lists of names, kind of just getting out your basic idea of who you want to draft and how. Mm-hmm. I remember when I really was into it for fantasy football, I'd write down my top like 200 players, man, and I'd do I'd be like, if I would do it for basketball, I'd be like top 30 point guards. Yeah, I'd do top 30 shooting guards. I want and I put them all in order for the list I want them in. Mm-hmm. And maybe I'll do it this year. I'll see. I want to spend a little bit more time doing some research, seeing how people are gonna go.
Yeah,
I'm kind of not sure I always am like 50-50 on how the season's gonna go, but I don't know everyone's full names and then full teams and full starting 5, and I want to get that down.
Yeah, I mean, for me, how I'm at least doing it this year is I'm kind of like saying like, okay, we got 12 rounds, so I'm gonna pick 3 people that I want from each round and where I think if they're gonna be in that round category. So I'm definitely doing my research. I definitely want to bounce back a little bit this year.
Yeah.
4th wasn't bad out of 12.
4th wasn't bad at all. And you made a lot of what Nikolay did was make a lot of moves during the year too. You had a lot of trades and a lot of waiver stuff. Whereas at least I kind of kept my team the same. Mm-hmm. But obviously it still worked. We got to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I got to be a little bit more careful this year is with trades because I was like very very trade heavy. Yeah. And I was like, man, I just want to trade, and that kind of I made a really good trade, and then I made a really bad trade. When I look back on it, I'm like, darn, like I should not have done that second trade.
Yeah, I mean, technically, you could say I only made one trade, and it was D Rose and Lonzo Ball. Yeah, and at the time, like I can't even tell if I won it. Technically, Lonzo Ball did better in the amount of time he played, but Lonzo Ball got hurt. Right? Yeah. He got hurt for the last month or so of the season, I think. I don't remember how long it was. And Derrick Rose didn't get hurt. And he played well kind of at the end of the season. So I'm kind of like 50-50 because points-wise, like average-wise, Derrick Rose averaged less than Lonzo. Mm-hmm. But time-wise and points overall from when I traded, I think it's a close trade. I'm happy with the trade personally. Because I just love Derrick Rose, man.
Yeah, you were really hyping him up every single time.
I was a Lonzo Ball hater, but I can see that he's becoming a good NBA player. I was a real LaMelo Ball hater. This guy's elite, though. Our boy Sean really hyped him up, and I'm happy.
He's good. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. But I still think the craziest part of that whole season last year was that one night that Fred VanVleet dropped like 99 fantasy points or something like that. It was insane. That guy was just dropping threes. I think he dropped like 60 points that night or something like that.
The best, this was the best one.
All right, put me on the spot. What was the best one?
Only because it's my team.
Okay,
c-niice, I'm hyping myself up. But the best one was me, middle of the season, picking up McConnell.
Oh my god!
For a month later, this man dropping 8 steals and a half, most steals ever in a half. TJ McConnell deserves more respect, and I hope they give him more time. But when I was watching the end of the season, man, when Caris LeVert came back. He was eating.
Yeah, I
You know
mean,
what I mean?
he was so close to that quad double too. That 8-steal game, he was 2 steals off. He could have had a quad
he
double.
got 10. He just didn't get the.
What did he need?
I think rebounds. He wasn't. Close.
Oh yeah,
I think he had like 4 rebounds.
Yeah, but he definitely had the assist. Definitely had the points.
He had 8 steals at half, and then got 2
Yeah.
in the second half, which I was like, that's cool, whatever.
That's still 10 steals in a game, which is insane.
That's one of the highest all time. I think like 11 or 12. I think 12's the highest maybe, because like after you get to like 6 or 8, and then it's like, man, it's hard to steal the ball.
Yeah.
It's more. I think it's hard. It's definitely hard to get 10 steals than 10 blocks, but I think it's all situational.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm afraid I'm not going to get McConnell this year because he was kind of my sleeper, and I don't even know if he's going to be like with Karis LeVert being there. I'm so afraid of him not getting the time he deserves.
You're also forgetting T.J. Warren's coming back too.
I didn't even think about
So
TJ Warren.
yeah, so I mean, I'm not trying to put you off of McConnell, but just saying, like the Pacers, they got T.J. Warren coming back too. So
McConnell needs to play for a team that's going to give him that time, because he's either a 6, he's either a solid 6, or he could be a starting small point guard or shooting guard for like a team that doesn't have an elite point guard. Like if you don't have a Steph Curry, you don't have like
a Damian Lillard,
because McConnell defensively gives you enough to where he can pass the ball. He's good at assisting. Like he said, he probably averaged like 6 last year or 5.
Yeah.
And like his shooting's but he doesn't gotta be a shooter. It's not his that's not who he is.
Exactly. Yeah.
So he's that defensive guy that's that small, scrappy John Stockton that's built. I picture every small white point guard as John Stockton.
Yeah.
I did not watch enough John Stockton, but 8 steals and a half is elite.
That's insane. I don't know. I just thinking about it, I can like picture him somewhere. I know the Timberwolves have D'Lo, but that could be like a good fit for him. Like I don't know what other team like is in desperate need of like a point guard, but maybe Toronto. But
yeah, Toronto's up there. Who do the Thunder got as their point?
They have SGA.
Oh
so
yeah,
they're,
I didn't know if he was shooting guard.
No, they have him as point guard there, so I mean they wouldn't need anything too crazy there.
I was gonna say Charlotte, but I know they want LaMelo to start. But but let McConnell teach him too, man. Let him teach how to play defense. Let him be 6 man and teach him how to do stuff. But McConnell deserves he's one of these people that is not gonna get enough time. He's got so much potential. You know who doesn't get enough time? Taco Fall and Bol Bol. I personally believe they're great basketball players. Do I have any evidence? I don't know, man. Did Taco Fall hold Zion Williamson in that UCF Duke game in college to a very low percentage and should have won him that game? Yes, man. Should Zion Williamson get the offensive rebound and get Duke that win versus UCF, only to lose to Michigan State the next game? I don't know, but I watched it and I saw so much potential in Taco Fall to be able to stop Zion Williamson that this man can stop any center in the league. Zion Williamson's one of the strongest dudes probably in the he's up there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The example I choose to show how strong he is how he was over Giannis's back that one play when he was a rookie, and he just rips the ball from Giannis.
Yeah,
and Giannis is not a weak man.
And no, he definitely put on muscle since he joined or got into the NBA.
Yeah,
since 18, that man put on a lot of muscle.
Yeah, I think because no matter how good your college is, you going to the NBA is a whole different ballgame.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I think he really played really well against Zion Williamson. And I think he could play well against a lot of people. I just don't know if people are. I don't know if they're afraid of him getting injured. I don't know what the thing is. He's too slow. I don't know what they're seeing in these two boys that they're not giving time. Mm-hmm. But I think their skill wise is right there, man.
I think so. I mean, you bring up Zion, and to bring this kind of back to that fantasy topic. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think this year Zion can be like a top 10 pick.
Really? You think he's gonna finally reach his full potential?
I think eventually. Listen, I'm not a big Zion lover.
Okay.
But what he does for that team and his skill set, it's kind of crazy. That man was averaging, I think, almost 27, 28 points a game last year. He could easily get to 30 this season.
He's gonna get. Zion Williamson is gonna be the Anthony Davis of this team, man. He's gonna be this guy who's this elite player. Anthony Davis was a top 5 player in the league for so many years, man. When he was on the Pelicans,
yeah,
he literally top 5, would be MVP-esque, was very close to MVP all those years, and literally just would run him. Mm-hmm. But there's just a limit of how good you can be. And I think that team is just can't figure it out. What is wrong with the Pelicans? They can't figure out how to.
They have the pieces. I don't know what's going on there.
Lonzo's a solid point guard. He had a good year last year, solid year.
Yep.
Who's their shooting guard? They had JJ Redick, I think, right?
Well, he was coming off the bench, but God, I don't even know. I know they had Ingram as their small forward, and Ingram's really good and underappreciated.
Ingram is just all-star level, just 20 points a game.
Yeah,
like
they
you
had
have 2 people can get you 20 every day.
Yeah,
you should be doing well.
Yeah, and then they had Zion at the 4, and then they had Steven Adams down at the center. I don't know why I'm blanking on their shooting guard, but because it definitely wasn't Josh Hart because he was coming off the bench.
No, I was gonna say Eric Gordon, but he was on the Rockets.
It might have been was it Bledsoe? Maybe.
It
might have been Bledsoe actually.
Bledsoe. I'm gonna double check on Google right now. Sorry about the wait, folks, but I think
this
it
is
was
important
Bledsoe.
information to know.
Yeah. Pelicans roster. Let's see who's starting on this puppy. They got.
I really do want to say it was Eric Bledsoe. I'm almost certain it was Eric Bledsoe.
Why did I look at the roster, man? We're gonna go with Eric Bledsoe.
I'm almost. It's gotta be. It was definitely Bledsoe because I remember Sean's team had him and he was terrible. That's all I can. I was like, oh yeah, he was on the Pelicans. He was doing terrible, but yeah, I mean, I don't know how the Pelicans can't figure it out. Like they had 1 year of Van Gundy and they're like, all right, new head coach.
Get this man out of here. I hate the Van Gundys, man. I hate Jeff on the mic, man, and not Jeff. It's Jeff, right? Jeff, the one who's the announcer. Steve is the coach.
Yeah, Steve is the coach.
And Jeff was a coach, but Jeff, I hate Jeff on the mic. Man. This man is the worst announcer I've ever heard. I don't know.
Worse than Joe Buck.
Oh man, the things that come out of this man's mouth, Mr. Van Gundy, is just outrageous, man. And I just don't even want to listen to it sometimes.
Hey, that's completely fair. I get it.
I'm telling you, get me there for a game. Let me dress up as Van Gundy. Let me stand in the spot, and I bet you I could do a better Van Gundy impression and make the game more interesting than Van Gundy.
Hey, those are some fighting words right there, but I believe you on that one.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I just don't think he's got it. I just don't think he's. I just don't have fun listening to him. That's what I'll say the least.
That's completely fair. I totally get that.
So I don't want to make it too much about sports because I feel like that's where I default to. Sports is something I feel comfortable with, so I think I'll default to talking about sports and I'll just go on everything I know about sports.
So that's why I held out for so long. Yeah. I was like, I want to talk about basketball for a little bit, even if it's for like 5-10 minutes. So.
Yeah, no, I did have the fantasy basketball on that list because I think it was a good idea that we made. And I think it was funny to tell the story about if we both won, we would have swindled all our friends out of money. And then probably, who knows if they would want to do that.
There's always this year, though. That's the thing.
That's
so we got to draft real well. But I believe in us.
But to kind of tone it down, we're gonna move on to probably the last talking point we do. Something that I always thing that's near and dear to my heart is when we go out, man, because I feel like there's very few people that can almost match my energy. I want to say that I got this energy that's unmatchable, but I think that's just because I'm prideful at times. But I think Nikolay is up there with me of just like when we're sinking, man, when we're vibing, it is very hard for us to not have a good time.
Oh yeah,
for sure. I mean, I feel like if we're both on good, like just our brains are good, like our mental's doing good that day, and we both are getting drunk at like kind of the same level at the same time. Man, we will just have a great time.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, I would say for me, just kind of like going out and whatnot, like my whole mentality is just to, have a good time and hype everyone else up to make sure that they have a good time. And if everyone's having a good time, then I'm having a good time.
I feel like that's high up on my MO. I could get selfish at times. Like if there's a couple songs in a row that I don't like played, I can definitely.
Oh yeah.
My mood can change a little bit, but I am on the same level as Nikolay there. If I'm dancing, and I like to hype people up when they're dancing, and that's like one of my big things.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think like you just have like when you see people like enjoying themselves. I don't know what it is. When I see people like my friends enjoying themselves, I'm just like, yo, it's easy. It's so easy to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same. Like if I seem like I'm enjoying myself singing dance, I feel like the people around me are like, yeah, it's easy to like also like vibe with that and keep that energy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even still, like, well, I'll try to get us all out onto that dance floor as quick as possible. No, that's the thing. Like for me, like when I'm completely sober, it's like if you know me, like I'm pretty talkative and I have stuff to talk to you about. But if I don't really know someone, I'm a little bit more quiet, timid to start. But going out is just a different beast. I'll talk to anyone. I'll say, be like, oh, what's going on? Like, doesn't matter who. I'll drag someone into, like, our dance circle that keeps eyeing us. I'm like, all right, get on over here.
Yeah,
stop looking and start participating.
We'll definitely start doing circles. I like to get the circle started and just A-in because it'll get the party moving, man.
It will, yeah.
When you hear A's and you see a circles involved and people dancing, you just are like, it's like something in your brain flips. And you're like, this is a different experience I was ready for. So I always like to keep that going and just getting people having fun. It's so good to have other people have fun. I think that it makes you have fun. I don't know. I just
It's
love you know what I mean, dancing and singing like
you're just there to have a good time, you know.
You're just there to have a good time. You don't care about anyone else.
Exactly.
I only care about my friends and myself.
Exactly. You know, we only have so much time on planet Earth, you know, to be like, you might as well enjoy it while you can. So,
I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
I asked Noah this question. He really let me down. Like, I didn't say it to his face or anything.
Wow.
I'll tell him now, man. No, you really let me down. Do you have your certain song that you just want to hear at the bar? Do you have like a song? Do you have like maybe one or two? Do you have a song that you just love to hear at the bar?
I mean,
and if you don't have one on command, it's all right.
No. So I was thinking about this a lot actually. So whenever we go out or like pre-gaming or whatnot, I always like to be on DJ.
Yeah, so Nikolay runs the music because what I love about Nikolay is he won't pick favorites. Nikolay will pick songs he likes. He'll pick songs that he knows other people like. He's able to spread it out so well, and he knows people's like songs they like that he does it really well.
Yeah, so
if I'm on DJ, I'm playing rap every song.
So I'm like, I try to throw out like maybe 3 or 4 rap songs, and then I'll play like a throwback 2000 song to get, you know, like our friends like Nicole and Maida to be, you know, like having a good time and joining the same level. But I mean, for me, like songs that are my go-to songs, if pre-gaming, probably No Air, Jordan Sparks, Chris Brown. That always gets me hyped up, and I know it's not a rap song.
That's okay though.
But and then if we're out for some reason, the Cupid Shuffle always gets me, just because I know it by heart, and I'm like, oh, if everyone does it, it's a great time. So those are probably like my 2 go-tos that I can think off of the top of my head right now.
I think you're only allowed to say the Cupid Shuffle because literally last time we were out, they played the Cupid Shuffle.
Yeah.
No bar ever plays the Cupid Shuffle.
Listen, it's just such a good song. Like for me, like to start, it's always like, oh shoot, I kind of forgot how to do this for a second, and then I get to the chorus, and I'm like, yeah, to the right, to the right, to the right, and I'm right back in it. But yeah, that's usually like my go-to. But overall, you know, I just, you know, if it's like a pregame or something like that, I try to give a good mix of what everyone wants to listen to and what I want to listen to and what I know certain people will like. So I try to vary that up. But and then, you know, just having a good time at the end of the day. Like I said, for me, if everyone's having a good time, I'm having a good time.
Yeah, I feel it. So we're gonna probably wrap it up right there. You know, wrap it up, no present. You know what I mean? Wrap it up, no rap at Chipotle. But
bars.
I think I always ask the question, do you want to say anything to the world? But I'm gonna say something to the world that I haven't said yet. This is something that I don't know why. I feel like I should have said this earlier in the podcast, like a different time, like a different day, maybe last week's. But just want to get it out there that Donda is better than CLB.
Thank you. I agree
I'm
wholeheartedly.
I don't want anyone to get their feelings. I don't think anyone who listens to me is really that Drake stan 100%. But I did want to get out that Donda is better than CLB, and that's what I want to tell the world for this week. I think it's not fair for me to ask people what they want to tell the world if I don't also start doing it. Mm-hmm. So you're the first episode.
Hey, and yeah, just to wrap up, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Oh, do you want to tell the world something?
No, that's what I just wanted to say. Is thanks for having me on. It's been a real fun time, kind of reminiscing a little bit and talking about a bunch of random stuff.
And it does make you like when you talk. I think in this setting, it's much different than like just talking in person or like not having like a recording, but it does help you jog your memory, and you do get these like, you know, I mean, I get memories and I get like nostalgia, and I'm like, yeah, it's dope. Like it does make me feel good to do these episodes
for sure.
So, all right,
see ya.